I've got a good buddy here with me today to help me tell you about Seamus, the beagle that's in LARK Ascending. This beagle is named Ari Prince Rogers Nelson. He is named after a character in the Royal Tenenbaums and also after Prince, the singer, songwriter, musician, great artist. And he's a real good boy, and I couldn't have written LARK Ascending without him. He was pretty much always laying right beside me. I write a lot on the couch, and often his big old silky ear would creep right onto the laptop keyboard while I was writing. So he's deeply immersed in LARK Ascending. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how that came into being. In February of 2015, I had just lost someone very close to me. And the day after the funeral, I had to go to Ireland. I was hired to be a writer in residence there. While there, I sort of got through my grief by going on long walks in the Irish countryside. And at one point, this little dog joined me on my walk. He just showed up and he trotted along beside me for a couple of miles. And we had a little moment where we just sat together, and then he trotted away. It was like he showed up just when I needed him. When I got home and started writing LARK Ascending, I just kept thinking about a young man and a dog walking across Ireland together. And that eventually became the main basis of the book. Of course, I had the beagle with me the whole time, Ari. And so it made more sense to turn Seamus into a beagle instead of the original dog that showed up on that walk. I also want to mention that there are two dogs that are briefly mentioned in the book, two wiener dogs that are based on our dogs, Pepper and Holly. Holly's the red one, Pepper's the black one. They both passed away pretty recently, but they do make an appearance in the book. This scene takes place in LARK Ascending after they've been walking for several days across Ireland. They're aiming for a safe space. I position my pack behind my head and put my arm around Seamus there beside me. A little humming snore reverberated in his chest, and he moved closer, stirred, brought his nose down to press wetly against my fingers. They say it is foolish to put human qualities to a dog, but I couldn't help feeling like he was loving me, and I was reminded of how long it had been since anyone had touched me in a caring way. All of my life, there had only been 4 people to really do that: my parents, Sarah, and Arlo, and now this good, old, quiet dog, maybe one of the last ones. He had been alone in the world just like me. Dogs had always been taken away from their mothers and siblings early on and had to create their own families. Whoever was good to them became their family. I searched with my fingers until I found his big, silky ear and held on to it until sleep had found me.